Hi, good evening. My name is Carlton Foster. I'll be hosting this webinar today. Basically, what we will be going over is creating events in the church event app itself, creating events. And so we'll look at creating event, editing event, and inviting others to especially the private event. So I have a event that I will be creating for a similar event like this, but instead of having it during the day, I'm going to create another one for having it in the evening, more or less on Sunday evening. You can see my screen. I'm going to, so if you notice, I'm logged in currently right now, and you have to be logged in order to be able to create an event. So creating events, all events are one-to-one related to a coordinator. So the first thing you'd have to do to make sure, if you don't have a record in the system for a coordinator, you have to create one, which means you go up to the plus button here, type in your name, your position in the church itself, and you give some other information here and just hit submit, right? And so that's basically how you'd create an event. In this one, I'm going to edit this event. So you have edit this record, and you will have an idea, the information that is required in there. You can also add a picture if you want, add a small biographic of yourself, so others will know who you are and so forth. And be able to create an event. You need one of these records to create an event itself. So I'm not going to save it. I'm just going to go back to the main screen. So to create an event, I'll click on event here, which will list the current events that are created by me. And so I'll go up to the plus and hit plus to create an event. And so I'll use here, church event TU tutorial evening SSI evening session. So the name is important. That's what scrolls across. For the category, I'm going to use question and answer. And the time, if you notice, by default, it defaults to tomorrow, run about the same time. But you can change it because mine is going to be set for Sunday. So I'll set it for the 20th, which is next Sunday. At what time? I'm going to say maybe basically about 5 p.m. Hopefully during that time, it's before dinner. Hopefully for some people, because we're in different time zone. And select PM, and make sure you select PM or AM, because sometimes it might default to the time of day that you're in. And so right now it's set for Sunday, September 20th at 5 p.m. I'll make it about an hour. This is a text field. You can type anything in here. It's just an idea for those who registered to know what's that, how long it's going to take. And so I'm going to make it a weekly event. I'm going to make it recur weekly. For how long? It says it's proposing now September 22nd. That's it, proposing to end it at that time. So if you notice, I'm starting at the 20th and proposing September 22nd. Now I'm going to make it for 2 weeks, the 20th and the 27th. So after the 27th, it will automatically end. It won't be giving notification, So because this is going to be an online event, then the address information is left blank. You don't have to enter anything here. You leave it blank and leave it city blank. This is only needed if and only if you have an address location. And Google use that information to create the GPS. So, but if it's an online, you leave it blank. And obviously you have to select a presenter. So I'll select my name. Oh, I need a meeting ID, which I did not create yet before I started this one. So I'm going to edit it. I'm going to create a Zoom meeting ID, and then I edit it and put in the right ID. But for now is I'm just going to say learn to create events is the summary. Learn to create TV events. Okay. This is, I'm going to put the date and time here so it knows that it's Eastern time. Time is 5:00 p.m. EST, Eastern time. See, create the edit and invite others. Invite others. Okay, so for this event, I'm not going to create a flyer for it because I don't have one. But if I have a flyer, you would click attach, and it will pop up asking you for allowing access to your files on your phone. And if so, you would go ahead and select a, let's see here. I don't have any on this phone because this is a simulator. But you'll select, no doubt, a flyer either from your WhatsApp or some downloaded files that you have. And once you select it, that would be the flyer that would then get attached to the phone itself. I'm going to make it a public event because, you know, this is going not only to my members of my church, but I wanted to make it public so that it will be available for everybody all over the States itself. Normally, you would use public event as an evangelistic type event itself. Church event, if it's the event is only related to your church only and your members, or private event only if you have a meeting like a board meeting that you want to only invite a few members to that event itself. Then you make it private, or any departmental meeting that you have, you want to schedule it and so forth and invite just the members of that department, then you make it private. And disable, obviously, if you have an event that you eventually decide you want to disable it, then you can select disable. So I'm going to hit submit. And so there it creates the event and it goes to the detail screen for the event itself. So I noticed that the Zoom ID is not listed. So I need to create a Zoom ID and then add it to the event itself. So let me do that now. Okay, now that I have a Zoom ID, I'm going to edit the event itself. So I click on the pencil to edit the event. And normally for private event, you would hide the Zoom ID. And this is where you would put the information for hiding the Zoom ID. This only appears, the Zoom ID, when somebody registered for it, that you invited them to. And once they're registered, then they will have the Zoom ID. But normally, if it's a public event, you can put the Zoom ID there, but it's suggested that you also add it to the description. And so let me get the ID number for this. ID number. So Zoom ID is ZO. Zoom ID is 74623655569. Right? And that's if when they register, they will get that in their email, as well as in the description. You put the Zoom ID. Zoom ID is 74623655569. Yeah. So that's it. I edited it, and I'm going to hit save to save it. Now, you may not notice, but I hear noise. Oh, I have to edit the time again because I changed the time from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So let me change it to 7 p.m. and make sure you select p.m. and do OK. All right. So it's 7 p.m. on Sunday. Hit save. All right. So that's it. So now that it's I created this new event, it's best for me to register. I want to register also so that any notification that goes out, that I will also get the same notification. So I'm going to hit submit, which shows that I'm registered for the event itself. Now, if you notice, I've been getting some pinging telling me that I'm having a message. And so when I look at this, it shows that there's an event, a new event that was created, church event tutorial, evening session, created today at this time. And that's the event that came in. Now, all members of the church will get the same event, that a new event was created. If it's a public event or even a church event status, they will immediately get that same notification that I get, and so that they'll be able to click on it and will see the detailed information of the event itself. I have to refresh this because I changed the time, and the time is 7 o'clock. So I change it, and it should now reflect 7 p.m. Yep. All right. So that is for public event. Now, if this was, say, for example, a private event, it is best to invite others because nobody will see it if it's private. Only you alone can see it. So if I change this to private down here, only the person who created the event will see it. Nobody else in the church, nobody else that has the app will see this event. I'm the only one that will see this event right now because it's private. But if this was like a board meeting or a department meeting and I need to invite others to the app, I would click on the item up here to say share. Once I click on it, members of the church will show up here. And so if you want to invite certain members, you would click on it and click on their names. And once you click on their name, for example, I'll share it here. You just hit invite, selected person, and they will get an email saying that they are invited to this one event. Now, if you notice that their name has here a 2 question sign, 2 question sign mean that an event was sent to them, an invited event was sent to them. When they accept it or decline, it would say yes, they accept it, just like I accepted mine. And if they decline, it would say no, right? Or if they did not do either one, then it will still say that it's pending invitation, right? So that's what that is. However, if the person is not in your church and you want to invite them like a guest speaker or to a private event. Like sometimes we have men's ministry and we have guest speaker. Then you can also click on other, and if they're registered in the app itself, then you can go here and search for their name, and you can search and go through their name and find whoever it is and invite them, right? Like if I do this, I say I'm inviting Ken, but I have not invited them yet because I can change my mind. Or you go here, if they're not part of the app and you have an email address, you can just put in their email address and hit submit, and it will send an email out to them inviting them to this event where they can also register for it. So this is how you send out invitation for especially private event. Public event, you don't have to invite anyone. What you can do is promote public event in a certain city or certain zip code. So for example, I'm going to change back this to public event. Again, I have the option of also making it a church status, which means only members of my church will see. Nobody else will see this event. It will become public only to church members. So I'm going to make it public as an evangelistic event. And now that is public, I'm going to then share it with certain members. I'm going to promote it in certain areas, right? So I'm going to promote it in certain zip code, that which in a church or individual who has the app itself installed and they're located in that zip code, then they will see the app itself. 330 say 56. If I'm going to promote it in that location itself, so that I'm targeting a certain area, and all the users who have the app installed and their home churches are located in the zip code, then they will see the event scroll across their screen, right? So I hit process and then submit, and that's it. It is now going across that person's application. They'll be able to see this event itself. All right, so that's how you would promote it. Now, if you notice, when I go to promote the event itself, I have the option of selecting, city, zip code, state, and conferences. And the reason why I have states and conference option here is because my profile allows me to. But most times, that profile is only available to conference leaders. So I'm going to go change my profile back to normal event itself. So I go over to here, and I go to the church itself. Church or the ministry. Select the ministry in question, which is in pink. I select it, and I'm going to change the profile. See, it says conference leader, and only conference leader can promote events statewide or within a conference. So I'm just going to put it here as a member. And that's my home church. Remember to always make sure you check it if it's your home church and hit submit. Now that I have done that, go back to event. You're going to notice here that I no longer are able to promote an event in a conference wise or statewide. So I'm going to hit, I hit edit. I should have hit share. And then promote. And if you notice now, I only have cities and zip code. Cities within my state, all cities within my state, and all zip code within my state. Right? And so that's how you promote, and that's how you create events, edit events, and be able to promote it in certain areas and so forth. So that's what I have for this tutorial. The next tutorial that we'll do is to look at how to configure small groups and how to add a small groups to your church and allow members to automatically join those small groups. All right. Thanks very much. That's it.